me straight away go across to Dr. Subramanian Swamy himself, joining us live here on Republic. Sir, first up, what exactly happened in court? 1.5-hour long cross-examination happened. Can you give us a bit of details on that? And of course, you were mentioning rather that how much you had enjoyed it, and what exactly has the court asked you to get?
Well, the cross-examination of me was on all irrelevant matters. My case is very simple. Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Motilal Vora and 3 others together formed a company called Young Indian, and they grabbed the 5,000 crore property worth of AJL, which was publishing National Herald and had stopped publication. And the cross-examination went into irrelevant questions, whether Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi had personally gained from payments made for rent, which is, the Herald house in Bahadur Shah Zafar Marg has been rented out. Instead of printing newspapers, they have rented it out. Whether they got any a personal benefit, and I said I'm not concerned with that. What I'm concerned with is the grabbing of the property by a maneuver in which they ended up paying just 50 lakhs, and that too which they got on a loan from a dubious Calcutta company for which there's a separate money laundering investigation on. And then suddenly they said the income tax the cross-examiner said the income tax investigation was, you have claimed, is on your basis of your letter. Where is the letter? Now, I had promised to file the letter if anybody asked for it, and I didn't have it then. So they sought an adjournment. But actually they cheated the court, because the income tax commissioner had filed a claim on the money that was evaded, which they had appropriated and evaded, and that case under that order, against that order, they had gone to the High Court, where the High Court order records that the Subramanian Swamy had made a complaint to the Finance Ministry, and this investigation started on that basis. And Rahul Gandhi was provided all the documents that he had asked for there. So why did they raise this at the last minute, knowing fully well I would not have this copy of this letter? So they sought an adjournment. All that they are doing, right, is finding ways to delay the proceedings. I was ready to sit for the whole day, but after 1.5 hours they wanted to find some way to get an adjournment. So now I don't know what spin. I think one of these pro-Congress law websites, they put out that I said I had made no claim. Of course I had made no claim. My whole case is that they have misappropriated the property by fraud, by cheating, by conspiracy, and by misappropriation. So therefore, I didn't got into it. Who got into it? Income tax had got into it. How much money they got and so on. And they are objecting to my presenting the income tax investigation report also. And they're saying, no, we don't. Sonia Gandhi went to the Supreme Court, and I was a respondent. And so she supplied me a copy. That copy also, they say, no, we don't admit that it is a copy she has given you. So therefore, all that is happening, why I'm enjoying it, is that they are running like a headless chicken from one corner to another in trying to see how the case can be delayed even further.
So, Dr. Swamy, can you shed a little more light on specific documents that the court has asked you to bring it next time, especially if you're talking about the income tax complaint and relating to that with the Ministry of Urban Development as well? Can you shed more light, sir? What exactly are those documents that the court is talking about?
Yeah. No, the first document which the Congress party lawyers already have with their possession is a letter I wrote to the Finance Ministry in 2015, pointing out that in the course of my case on in the Patiala House Court, I discovered that there was an income tax angle and that should be investigated. And furthermore, Congress party had given loans to the Associated Journals Limited, which publishes the National Herald. And I said that under the Representation of the People Act is not permitted. You can't use your money for anything but political purposes. You certainly can't give a loan to a printing press. So therefore, on the basis of that letter, the investigation was started. So they wanted a copy of that letter. So I mean, they shouldn't have asked me because they had already got it from the Delhi High Court. At the time of the Delhi High Court, we have a judgment of the Delhi High Court where they'd gone in. Similarly, as far as the takeover by the government of the Herald House on Bahadur Shah Zafar Marg, that you see is something that was given for printing a newspaper. And they are not printing a newspaper. They have rented it out to Tatas, they have rented it out to the passport office of the External Affairs Ministry when they were in power. So therefore, it was a misuse of the concessional land and the concessional loans they got to build that building. So the government took it. So they have gone in appeal. They lost in the High Court. And they were gone in the Supreme Court. Income tax also they lost in the High Court. They have now gone to the Supreme Court. So there's only delaying. They are not wanting to come to a conclusion.
All right. Dr. Swamy, sir, thank you very much for putting your point across and what exactly is happening in court related to the National Herald case and how exactly you are making sure that the case comes to its logical conclusion. Next hearing that is to take place on the 21st of March. We'll follow up on that, Dr. Swamy. For the moment, thank you very much, sir, for joining us here on Republic.